This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
All right, the dishes you're hearing rattling in the background are at the Market House, which is humming on Thursday
afternoon.
We're here with Erik Evans, who is the executive director of the Downtown Annapolis Partnership. I like to call it DTAP, but we're here talking about one of my favorite weeks of the year, which is coming up pretty soon, within probably a week or two, called Annapolis Restaurant Week. Man, it's back again.
Yes, it was a great week to dine out.
Okay, the holidays are over. You guys, a couple weeks to rest. And now February 24th through March 3rd is Annapolis Restaurant Week. And that's, do we get an extra day because of leap year?
It is. It's a great thing to have leap year and Restaurant Week.
Well, so what is the deal? I mean, basically every city, a lot of cities have restaurant weeks, okay? And there are specials that are going around with, and we've got over 40 different restaurants that are going to be participating.
Yeah, we'll probably have close to 40 restaurants participating. It's a great week. There's fixed price specials, special menus. Some restaurants try out some new dishes that week. So it's a great week just to dine out and get out of that house that you've been stuck in all winter.
My love-hate relationship with Restaurant Week is that I love to be able to get out and try new dishes. I love to get back and see some of my old favorites in town. The hate part is, like you had mentioned, they do like some special menus and try new things that a lot of times they don't remain on the menu, and it's so good. And you go back, it's like, hey, can I get? Yeah, no, that was just a Restaurant Week thing only. And I'm like, dang it. But that's my thing. I like to go explore some of the new ones. And I was looking at the website, which everybody should go to, AnnapolisRestaurantWeek.com. And I see that you've got like the Lodge, which is the former Smashing Grapes over at the mall. They're involved. They're a new one, and I've not been there yet, so I'm excited to try that.
I'm excited to go there too. I tried to go last weekend and it was like 2-hour wait. So
still,
yeah.
And they've been open for a good month. No, they've been open in the fall. So they've been open a good 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. So they're doing well. So I'm going to say, some of these you may want to try midweek.
They probably just don't let you type in.
That could be. Maybe I wasn't dressed right.
Oh, here's Evans. Man, that's a 2-hour wait. Sorry. Maybe you should go to like Orange Julius at the mall. And then there's the and I had to look this up to find out what it was. The kitchen, which is that the kitchen? It's on the
kitchen on West Street. Yeah, it's the Hilton Garden on West Street is participating this year for the first time.
Oddly enough, I was in there for a meeting one time, and you wouldn't think of it, but they have very good wings. Just sort of a tip, non-restaurant week tip, but they have not bad wings there as well if you're looking for that.
And the largest pretzel you'll ever see.
Is it?
Yeah, they got a huge pretzel.
Well, very cool. All right, so what's the best way to do this? So you get reservations? I mean, obviously they're recommended, but not necessary.
Reservations are highly suggested because it's so busy that week. But, if it's a last minute thing and you want to go out, reservations are not required, but they are highly suggested.
And as far as the midweek is the way to go. It's a little bit less crowded. You might have a couple of politicians, but they're just sort of like gnats that fly around. Just get rid of them. But midweek is a great time to go out because it's a little bit less crowded. The garages are not nearly as crowded, and the food is still the same and everything else. And I think there's some different specials that go on.
Yeah, several of the restaurants have wine specials, so you get half price or third off bottles of wine at some of the restaurants, and we'll have them all posted on the website.
Oh, that's awesome! So is that something fairly new? I mean, that they're all doing that. I mean, obviously, they're looking to space out their. Even it out so they're not all slammed on.
There's a lot of restaurants that do it year round, and we're just highlighting those that are offering that. So it gives you just another incentive.
My local favorites. I mean, Carroll's Creek is back in. I know they're wonderful. Ram's Head's in there. You've got Cafe Normandy.
Cafe Normandy's in there. I like Luna Blue's another great one, and Cafe Mez.
Probably one of the best Italian joints in town.
Yes, so lots of great food. It's also a good time, to team up dinner with a show or something. Why not just make it a whole night of it? So, you go have dinner one place and then go catch a show at Ram's Head or Jazz in the back of 49 West and just make a really nice night out of it.
Well, you do. And obviously, if you have a group or something like that, you want to make a reservation there to make sure that you can get a seat. But again, you look at the live music at all the different bars that we've got all the time. You've got shows at Ram's Head. You've got shows at 49 West. You've got productions at Colonial Players. You've got
there's so many great options, and we'll have a listing of all the entertainment put on the website. We'll have a link to a music calendar, so you'll be able to catch it all.
And all that's up there at AnnapolisRestaurantWeek.com?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Sore subject, parking.
Parking. We have parking.
It's a lot easier this year because we have a garage.
We have a new garage. As a matter of fact, I'm parked in it right now, and it's not full. So there is parking downtown. Come on down. Looking out over at City Dock. Right now, the parking lot's not full, even though we're in session. So come on down and enjoy the restaurants.
Now, the parking garage I'll say on Main Street, but the Hillman garage, which is sort of tucked behind Main and Conduit area. Yeah, that is you've got, just so people know that, you need to pay for that in advance when you go. You treat that sort of like street parking. There's no more tickets, and you just pull
easy
in, park,
easy out. Pay at a kiosk, just like you would at a meter on the street, or you can pay by phone or use an app, whatever way you're most comfortable.
And there's signage in there as well. But the only thing I will recommend is make sure that you pay like your parking at a meter.
Correct.
Pay for the time that you feel you're going to be there. You do have options to extend it if you stay a little bit longer than that. But don't assume that you're going to pay on the way out, because that might get you a nasty gram in the mail. Where do we find Erik Evans? Obviously not at the lodge, because they don't let your type in there. But where do we find Erik Evans during Restaurant Week?
I don't know. My daughter was listening to me talk to some of the restaurants this morning. She goes, "Dad, are we going out to try new food for Restaurant Week?" And I said, yes. So we're going to be out there enjoying several of the restaurants.
Did you say your daughter asked whether you were going out? But now, This is where my whole mind warp is, because the last time I remember seeing her, there was no way she could even talk.
Yeah, she's only 2.5, but she loves to go out to eat.
Well, that's that whole COVID thing. It was like COVID has messed my mind up, and as far as my sense of time or everything like that. So she's a little budding foodie in the Evans household.
She is. So, we'll definitely be out as a family enjoying it.
That's fantastic. Where are some of your favorite places to go?
So we will probably end up, trying Carpaccio's is always a favorite.
Always solid.
We go to Luna Blue a lot. We go to Carroll's Creek. We end up a lot of times at Caliente Grill, so that we'll probably be all over town.
Fantastic. Who I'd like to see on here, and they've never been, and they really don't, probably, it doesn't make sense for them, but Reuben's. People are like, "Where's Reuben's? Where's Reuben's?" I'm like, "Oh, it's the best hidden
Reuben's is a great place. Probably not an Annapolis Restaurant Week kind of place, but it's a great place. Pip's Hot Dog is reopening this week after the floods downtown. Not a Restaurant Week place, but, great place to grab something. We got a lot of great options downtown.
Go support Pip's when you're here, because, obviously, that is one of the businesses that operates on a shoestring here. Small little sliver of space on Dock Street, and got really a lot of damage due to the flood. And he's getting ready to reopen, can use the business. And there's a real community-centric business that he has the standby dogs, which he does every year. And if you want to purchase an extra dog, you give him the extra bucks for the hot dog, and then he keeps it there. And anybody that is, hungry, that needs a dog that can't afford it, takes care of them. And any money that's, or any ones that are unclaimed at the end of the month, he turns around, converts them back into cash, and makes that donation to the lighthouse. So little tiny operation. He's the definition of a one-man show, if you will. Make a damn good hot dog and a good cheesesteak as well.
He does.
Well, you are in charge of Restaurant Week. You are in charge of all the revelry that went on around the holidays.
We had a great holiday, by the way, downtown. December foot traffic downtown Annapolis was up about 12.5%. Over the previous December. So it's great to see so many people shopping local, and we really appreciate your support and encouraging people to do that.
Well, yeah, everybody has to shop local. That's where it all starts. How do you measure foot traffic?
So we use a company, Placer.ai, who's able to track foot traffic for us, cell phone data and GPS data to track foot traffic.
So when my cell phone pings out, I'm walking up Main Street, it's somebody's counting me that I'm on Main Street.
It's all anonymous accounting, so we don't know that it's John, but we do know there's a body on the street.
Not that it's a surprise to me. I keep telling everybody, I said, the only place I expect privacy is in my bedroom and bathroom. Beyond that, everything seems to be fair game. So I'm kind of okay with that. In addition to the holidays and Restaurant Week, Bo, you are in charge of pretty much everything that happens down in the historic part of the district with the Main Street program, which is sort of Calvert Street-ish down
to the
Main
Academy,
Street, Maryland Avenue, and there's little different business associations that filter in there. But the next big thing in Annapolis after Restaurant Week is probably St. Patrick's Day and the parade and the hoolie and the Shamrock the Dock and everything else.
Great event. biggest event in Annapolis. That group does a great job putting that event on, and everybody should come out and pretend to be Irish for the day, whether you are or not.
And I know that when John O'Leary first started this, I mean, his big thing was that we do it a week before to give the businesses a little bit of a boost, because most businesses don't need a boost on, at least bars and restaurants, on St. Patrick's Day. Just the way the calendar worked, that this is the first year that it's actually going to be on St. Patrick's Day or St. Patrick's Day weekend. So if you're used to it coming in a week early, make sure you adjust your calendar to the right thing, because it is going to be on the 17th. And again, the Hooli and Shamrock the Dock and the parade, which will be fantastic.
It's a lot of fun.
Following that, and I don't think I have a date from the city yet, but you've got the Martin Luther King Jr. parade as well as the festival. And that's, I think what it was, it used to be during his birthday in January. And then it just got snowed out, rained out, cold out. And they said, April seems like a good time.
Yeah, it's usually the first week of April.
So you want to make sure you come down for that. And then we just roll toward the end of April, we roll into Maryland Day, which you get involved with as well.
Yeah, so that's end of March, early April.
And that is not just specific to Annapolis. That's Annapolis and Anne Arundel County.
Yeah, it's most of Anne Arundel County, and there's going to be over 40 events that are free or just $1, very family friendly. Great time to get out and kind of learn about the history and culture of your own neighborhood. There's dozens of events.
The thing there is to get a whole bunch of dollar bills and convince your significant other that you're going to Maryland Day and not to a strip club, and enjoy a couple of days and see everything that Anne Arundel County has to offer.
Yeah, we live in a great county with lots of history and culture, so it's a good time to get out.
One thing I will say on Maryland Day and that whole weekend that's there, take a look at the website. And that's Maryland Day.
MarylandDay.org.
And see what it is, because every time I look, I am so surprised at what this county and this city has to offer. As we're sitting here in the Market House, just over my right shoulder is the Historic Annapolis Museum. It's an absolutely amazing exhibit. And
it's amazing how many people have not been there. It is great.
I don't want to say it's a hidden gem, because it's sits out like a sore thumb right on the corner of Main and Compromise Street. But, you look at that. You look at the Maritime Museum. You look at the Banneker Douglas Museum, again, sort of hidden around the corner. And we just have a wealth of just great stuff in the county. I mean, it goes out from the Spy Museum out by Port Meade, and certainly you've got the Salem Avery House and everything else down in South County. Yeah. Take a look at that MarylandDay.org and see what we have and partake. And there's a great chance to witness it all, see it all, experience it all for $1 or less.
And we got the film festival coming up the same time frame there in April.
Oh, that's right. That's at the end of March, beginning of April.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. That's another big one. I'm excited for that. And then May Day on May 1st.
Yes.
Which is now is that run by you guys aren't involved with that. That's the Four Rivers Garden.
We help the Four Rivers Garden Club is the host of that event, but we partner with them to help promote the event. So it's another great time to come out as spring starts to blossom in downtown Annapolis.
And that is my guaranteed play hooky day from work, because I come down here loaded up with my camera. And what I found over the years is that I do different neighborhoods. I don't think you can do it all in one day.
I don't think it's possible.
Unless you hijack one of those little go-karts and, tell Craig and Lisa, said they're,
I'm on one of Craig and Lisa's go-karts those days, taking a group of people on a tour. And no, it's not possible even with that to hit them all.
But it is. I mean, some days I'll come down and do the business district, or I say what I call the business, and I look at the business displays. Other times I'll go into Murray Hill, or I'll go into, President's Hill, and to see it. It's just really so beautiful. It does really bring Annapolis to life again in the spring.
Absolutely.
Another thing too is it's actually very beautiful, and they probably will hate me for this, but even when it rains, I mean, not a huge downpour, but I've been out in the rain sometimes, and it's just a different look, and it's just really, really beautiful. It's a spectacular day in Annapolis.
It is. And some of the businesses and residents are really creative in coming up with some unique designs. It's not just, flowers in a basket, sometimes they're guitar cases and built into bicycles and, all sorts of creativity.
Well, the one everyone looks forward to is Melissa Houston's creation. Usually she does it up on West Street, that first block of West Street. And she's had big, huge barrels, and it's just usually a gigantic. She
usually creates the largest one, so yeah.
It blows your mind. Another thing that's going on in the city of Annapolis, and we've all heard about it, is City Dock is going to get walled off, raised, made into a park, and all sorts of other crazy things. It has been an initiative of the mayor for, the last, how many years we had? So 6 years anyhow. And needed, and certainly a couple of weeks ago with the storm that came through and the flooding that came through and the damage to the businesses, it demonstrated how it's needed. And I know that I don't want to put you on the spot to ask you the specifics of it, but do you have any idea of the rough timetable of when this is all going to happen?
Well, there's a public meeting that's kind of going on right now to kind of help finalize where they're currently at. But last I heard, the goal was to do some electrical work and bearing of electric this summer, which would keep everything open. And then in the winter, this coming winter, to start doing some work down towards Susan Campbell Park. But in the near future, we should have some more definitive answers on that.
Okay.
But it's going to be gorgeous, I think, when it's done.
Yeah, and this is looking to be done now in 2025, maybe 2026-ish. Is that sort of what the general consensus is?
That's, I think, when the big years of construction will be.
Okay. And when it does get fully underway, okay, obviously we're losing, I think that it's 135 parking spaces, and I know that we've gained most of those back up with the garage, so it's not quite a wash. As the Downtown Annapolis Partnership person, I mean, do you have concerns for businesses, and do we have any
right
plans?
now, I'm looking at our garages are mostly not at capacity, whether you're looking at Hillman or Gott's. So I think we're going to be okay there. I'm seeing more and more people who come down by Uber so they can drink and not have to worry about drinking and driving. The Downtown Annapolis Partnership just finished putting in bike shares in the Murray Hill, connecting downtown with Homewood and the Children's Museum and Wiley Bates and Maryland Hall, that area. A few years ago, we did it through the historic district, so biking is getting more and more popular. So I think, having an outdoor area where people could congregate is going to be great for downtown Annapolis.
Well, and as you know, I have never believed that there's a parking problem in Annapolis. There's a parking problem perception in downtown Annapolis. And no, you're not going to be able to park immediately in front of the business that you want to patronize, but you're not going to be able to do that in any other city in the world either.
I can come down, me and my daughter, we get an ice cream cone, and we'll be able to sit in a nice park versus sitting in a parking lot. So it'll be nice.
It will be fantastic. Well, but first we've got to get through Restaurant Week. Again, Annapolis Restaurant Week is rolling into town February 24th through March 3rd. If you've got a group, get a reservation. Make sure you come out midweek. Take advantage of the midweek specials that some of these folks are offering. And, I say, try something new that you haven't been to before. It's a way to do it for a price fixed. It's got a special menu. You can see what their chops are and enjoy the evening.
Sounds like a great idea. Bring your coworkers, family, and friends and enjoy.
AnnapolisRestaurantWeek.com is where you want to go. You want to get out and eat. And also make sure you follow us at Eye on Annapolis and all the different places that we are, because when Erik snuck off to the bathroom, I went into his backpack and stole a bunch of gift cards. So we're going to be giving away a bunch of gift cards for the Restaurant Week. And so any cops that may be listening, that was just my attempt at lame humor. They were willfully given to me. So AnnapolisRestaurantWeek.com is where you need to go. And we're going to see you out on the streets of Annapolis February 24th to March 3rd.
Sounds like a plan.
This has been a bonus podcast from Eye on Annapolis. Please visit us at eyeonannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.